Hello, beautiful people. It's your friend Kody here, ready to share another burst of energy and insight with you today. We're talking about something that's a part of everyone's lives, but often goes unchecked, that feeling of being overwhelmed. That moment when you feel like a circus juggler with too many balls in the air. We've all been there. The feeling of your heart racing, your mind spinning, and just a general sense of drowning in your responsibilities. And it's not just you, it's all of us at some point. We take on too much, overcommit, and before we know it, we're sinking. So how do we tackle this monster of overwhelm? Well, let's take a step back and look at a few solutions. But before we do, I want to share something personal with you, beautiful souls. There was a time when I was right there in the thick of that overwhelm. I found myself juggling too many balls, carrying too many loads, and the weight was heavy. I felt like a machine that was about to break down. So I took a decision. I decided to simplify. I chose to cut down on the unnecessary and focus on what truly mattered. And you know what? It was the best decision I ever made. It felt like a breath of fresh air, like a load off my shoulders. The clutter in my life was reduced, and so was the noise in my head. The chaos gave way to clarity, and the restlessness gave way to peace. It was a journey towards a simpler, more meaningful life, and I haven't looked back since. The beauty of it? You can do it too. Let me share with you some of the things that helped me find more joy in life, and yet still be able to handle what I had to do. First up, clutter. And I'm not just talking about the physical stuff piled on your desk or scattered around your living room. Yes, that can create a feeling of chaos and overwhelm, but there's more to it than that. The clutter in our lives is not just physical, it's also mental, and comes in the form of endless to-do lists and tasks. You see, when our environment is messy, our minds feel messy. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And then we have those never-ending lists that are more like a constant buzzing in our ears, an ever-present nagging reminder of everything we still need to do. So the first step to battling overwhelm is decluttering both our physical and mental space. Start by tidying up your environment. Get rid of stuff you don't need. That alone can bring a surprising amount of relief. But don't stop there. It's time to declutter your task list too. Prioritize what's really important. Learn to say no to the rest. Less truly is more. When we lessen the clutter in all forms, it's like we're making space for peace and calm to enter. And here's something we often overlook. We are our own worst culprits when it comes to cluttering our lives with too many tasks. It's like we're setting a buffet for ourselves, but then trying to eat all the dishes at once. We take on more and more, piling our plates high with tasks and responsibilities, convincing ourselves we can handle it all. But truth be told, we're not doing ourselves any favors by doing this. We need to learn the art of saying no, not just to others, but crucially to ourselves too. It's about recognizing our own limitations and being realistic about what we can actually achieve. We have to stop and ask ourselves, is this task really necessary? Is it contributing to my goals? Or is it just adding to the noise? Remember, every yes to one thing is a no to something else. So it's high time we become more discerning with our yeses. Clear the excess off your plate. It's okay to leave some tasks undone. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication after all. Next, let's talk about consistency. It's about creating a routine or schedule. I know. Schedule sounds a lot like school, right? But trust me, it's not bondage, it's freedom, because it takes the guesswork out of your day. It gives your day a structure, almost like a safety net. When you have a schedule, you know what you're doing and when you're doing it. No more worrying about when to squeeze in a workout or time to read. It's all planned out. There are tons of apps out there that can help with this. Google Calendar, Todoist, Asana. Just pick one that works for you. But here's the thing. A schedule is not set in stone. It's flexible. If it doesn't work, you tweak it. You divide your day into chunks. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And in each of these chunks, you put in things you need to do and things you want to do. Work tasks, rest time, fun activities. And if it's still too much, you reduce the workload. Remember, consistency is the key. It's not about doing a lot. It's about doing it regularly. Now let's talk about self-discipline. Now I know what you're thinking. Discipline sounds a lot like punishment, but it's not. Discipline is freedom. Why? because it means you're doing what you really want to do. It's about mastering your mind, not letting your mind master you. Self-discipline is about controlling your impulses, your emotions, and making choices that serve you in the long run. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the concept of self-discipline. I know. It sounds so official, so strict, doesn't it? Like something a stern schoolmaster would demand of us. But let's reframe this, beautiful people, because self-discipline is actually a path to freedom. Yes, you heard me right, freedom. It's all about shifting perspective. Think of it this way. Self-discipline is about setting rules for yourself that guide you towards your true goals. It's not about self-punishment or depriving yourself of enjoyment. It's about making choices that align with what you really want. Choices that simplify your life and reduce the noise and clutter of distractions. Take a moment to imagine that feeling when you stick to a rule you've set for yourself. You said you'd exercise 3 times a week, and you've done it. You committed to cutting out sugar from your tea, and you've managed to follow through. How do you feel? There's a glow of accomplishment, right? A surge of pride and satisfaction. You set a goal and you achieved it. It's about knowing that you're in control and that you have the power to influence the trajectory of your life, and how to master self-discipline with simplicity. It's not as daunting as it sounds. Start small. Baby steps, beautiful people. Maybe it's setting a fixed bedtime to ensure you get enough sleep, or perhaps it's committing to 15 minutes of meditation every morning. The key is to start with manageable goals and gradually build on these achievements. Over time, these small victories accumulate, and before you know it, you've established a rhythm, a routine that works for you. You're exercising your discipline muscle, and it's getting stronger day by day. Remember, self-discipline isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about creating structure in your life, yes, but within that structure, there's plenty of room for spontaneity and fun. It's about striking a balance. After all, life's a dance, isn't it? And self-discipline, well, it's the rhythm that keeps us moving in harmony with our goals. So let's dance, beautiful people. Let's dance towards simplicity, clarity, and the freedom that comes from knowing we're in control. Now that's the power of self-discipline. Now, who among us has heard of Parkinson's Law? It's a concept stating that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. So, we need to master our time, or it'll master us. Picture this. You've got a jam-packed day ahead. You're juggling 5 tasks with only so many hours in the day. Remember that pesky sensation of overwhelm we talked about earlier? Yep, we've got to manage time, not just to get things done, but also to maintain balance in our lives. Now hold on a sec. I hear you saying, but Kody, everything seems important. I feel you, I truly do. Here's a hot tip. Learn to prioritize. It sounds simple, yet so many of us struggle with it. Guess what? The mundane tasks we often dismiss, like doing the laundry, going for a walk, or even watching your favorite TV show, are important too. I mean, fun is crucial, right? Who wants to live a life of all work and no play? And rest, oh, that sweet rest. It's like the secret sauce of life. So the key is to factor these in. Treat them as non-negotiables in your schedule. But hey, I know it's tempting to indulge. You're thinking one more episode won't hurt, right? But don't fall for it, beautiful people. Remember, we're aiming for balance. An episode a day, perhaps, not a season. Okay, let's segue into something really fun. Rewards. Now, you remember when we were kids and we'd get a lollipop or a gold star for doing something good, right? Heck, some of us were even bribed to finish our vegetables. Well, who says we can't adopt that same system for ourselves as adults? Picture this. You're faced with a boring task you've been putting off. Instead of allowing dread to take hold, let's flip the script. Commit to doing the task for 30 minutes or an hour, and then the cherry on top, the light at the end of the tunnel. Reward yourself. How about that favorite TV show we talked about? And let's not forget, tuning into your favorite show or going for that soothing walk or any activity you love isn't just about rewarding yourself. It's also a fantastic way to get your mind off work and give yourself a much-needed break. Ever come home from work with your mind buzzing, rerunning the day's events, or worrying about tomorrow's tasks? These rewards act like little mental vacations, providing your brain with some relief and allowing you to return to work with renewed vigor and a fresh perspective. The key is balance, a delicate blend of work, rest, and play. Remember, we're not just trying to get through our tasks, we're trying to make life simpler and, dare I say, a little more enjoyable. Now, beautiful people, let's get ready to go on a deep dive into the ocean of time. Time, that elusive, invaluable commodity that keeps ticking away moment by moment. Let's take a moment to really appreciate its value. Each moment that passes is a moment we will never have again. This exact time tomorrow, today, will be a memory. It's like sand slipping through your fingers. No matter how tightly you try to grasp it, it just keeps moving. You know, this makes me think of a couple of great thinkers. One is Eckhart Tolle, the spiritual teacher and author of the enlightening book, The Power of Now. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend it. Tolle talks about the idea that there is no past, no future, there's only now, that now is the most precious thing we have. And then Bob Proctor also comes to my mind. Now, if you haven't seen him use an egg timer as a symbol of time, you're missing out. He often flips that timer to remind us that what's gone is gone, and we shouldn't dwell on the past, wasting the moments we have left. But Bob also talks about something so simple, yet so profound, the concept of letting go. It's like taking a deep breath and releasing all thoughts, worries, anxieties, letting it all go. Imagine the relief, the clarity. It's hard, yes, but the reward is a lighter mind, a clearer focus. So what does all this Zen talk have to do with managing our time and avoiding overwhelm? Well, my friends, it's all about understanding the importance of focusing on the present moment. When you're washing the dishes, wash the dishes. When you're working on a report, focus on the report. When you're playing with your kids, be present with your kids. Even the most mundane tasks can become enjoyable when we fully immerse ourselves in them. Imagine doing the dishes as a kind of meditation, focusing on the sensation of the warm water, the sound of the bubbles, the sparkle of the clean dishes. Working on a report becomes an adventure, each figure and statistic a piece of the puzzle you're solving. So, beautiful souls, next time you find your mind wandering to the past or the future, remember the teachings of Tolle and Proctor. Remember the power of now, bring yourself back, and see how life becomes simpler, more enjoyable when we're fully present. Are you ready to seize the day, the hour, the moment? Try it. Now, I want you to sit back and think about this for a moment. What is love? No, I'm not asking you to break into a Hathaway song, although I wouldn't blame you if you did. Love, my friends, is the highest vibration there is. It's the ultimate energy booster, the premium fuel that our mind, body, and soul runs on. So how can we tap into this love, this powerhouse of positivity, by thinking good thoughts and practicing that day in, day out? Yes, it may sound a little cliche, but hey, cliches exist for a reason, right? They are the tried and tested truths of life. So when you wake up tomorrow, try thinking of something or someone you love. See how that sets the tone for the day. Next, let's talk about doing things you love. It could be your hobby, your passion, or even something as simple as going for a walk in your favorite park. When you do things you love, you're not just passing time, you're investing in your happiness. You're fueling that love vibration. And let me tell you, nothing can beat the feeling of contentment that follows. We also can't ignore the importance of a good night's sleep. How many times have you woken up from a restless night feeling irritable and off balance? Sleep, beautiful people, is our body's natural reset button. It rejuvenates us, helps us think clearer, and most importantly, helps us maintain our mood equilibrium. Moving on to something that's music to my ears, literally. Music, my friends, is therapy. Don't take my word for it. Science backs it up. Music can soothe our soul, motivate us, and even help us concentrate. It's like a magic potion that can instantly transport us to a different world. So if you're feeling low, put on your favorite track and let the music work its magic. And here we are, beautiful souls, at our final pit stop for the day. Now, I know we've covered a lot today, But if there's anything else that you think is important and we've missed out, feel free to add it to your mental checklist and comment below so I can talk about it in a future episode. This journey of simplifying life is a personal one, and you are the best judge of what works for you. Remember, beautiful souls, it's okay to ask for a helping hand sometimes. If you're finding things too heavy to carry alone, don't be shy to lean on a friend, a loved one, or even a professional therapist. Because the truth is, the burdens of stress and overwhelm might be invisible to the eye, but they can weigh heavier than any physical wound. It's not a weakness to share your load. It's human. So keep that in mind, all right? I'm heading off now to put on some George Benson. Oh yeah, I'm just in a George Benson mood today. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like his tunes to put me in the groove. But before I go, let me say this. If you're not already part of our beautiful subscriber group, don't hesitate to join in. We'd love to have you on board. Keep shining, keep smiling, and remember, simplicity isn't about having less. It's about making room for more love, more joy, more life. Until next time, beautiful souls.